Hello guys, how are you? Hope you all are doing well. Welcome to Electron Chemistry Center. This is VKM with you guys. How are you guys? Say hi in the live chat. Say hi in the live chat, guys. A very good evening to one and all who are present here for my class for today. As we know, guys, we had already started mole concept and stoichiometry, our basic concepts of chemistry. Lecture 1 is done. As you know, lecture 1 we had completed in the last session. We had completed introduction of the chemistry, properties and their measurement, SI units of the system also we have done. Right guys? So now in today's lecture we are going to talk about a very important topic, that is scientific notation, guys. What is the topic, guys? Scientific notation. It's a very interesting topic. Why I'm telling it's a very interesting topic in the sense, guys, many a times, okay, the study of chemistry we has to deal with the experimental data. As you know, we need to deal with the experimental data, as well as theoretical calculations also used to be there. Theoretical calculations also used to be there. So, and in those conditions there are, okay, certain ways for us to handle the numbers conveniently. We have to handle the numbers conveniently and present the data realistically with the certainly to be extent possible. So obviously when you are reporting the answer, you should report the answer to the accurate value. Almost you have to report the value, or you have to report the experimental data accurately. So in chemistry we will be handling with the experimental data. We'll be handling with the experimental data, right? In such cases chemical calculations also there, theoretical calculations also there. So that's the reason we need to talk about scientific notation topic. Why? Because we are going to handle experimental data and theoretical calculation, guys. So now you have to understand. So as you know, chemistry is the study of atoms, molecules which have extremely low masses. Masses are very, very low. As you know, masses are very, very low, guys, and are present in extremely large numbers. For suppose, if you know, we will be discussing later, of course, 1 mole is equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23. Yes or no, guys? That means just imagine. So we are handling with this. It is almost like 6022 or 3. What are it? Maybe 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And so many zeros are there. Just imagine. So many zeros are there. Yes or no? Just observe it there. Just observe it. You just see this number, guys. You just see this number, that is 6022, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. It goes on like that, it goes on. So guys, if you see, and we need to handle extremely large numbers or sometimes extremely smallest numbers. We need to handle extremely large as well as extremely smallest number. In such cases scientific notations are used. In such cases scientific notations are used. One has to deal with extremely large numbers as well as the smallest numbers. And these scientific notations, we should express it as n into 10 raised to n, where this capital letter n stands for, digit term. That capital letter n stands for digit term, and it varies between 1 and 9.999. Whereas if you see the small letter n, that small letter n is the exponent having plus or minus. It may be a positive exponent or it may be a negative exponent, positive or negative exponent, guys. But suppose if you see, there are so many other values like speed of light, Planck's constant. All these we are going to operate it. Charges on the particle, that may be on electron, that may be on proton, or neutron. Anyway, charge will be equal to 0, but the value will be value on the electron or value on the proton. Okay, this charge is value, right? All these values are extremely smallest in numbers. All these values are extremely smallest in numbers. So while you are handling, we require scientific notation, guys. What do we require? Scientific notation. If you see it in example, speed of light is, right, this is the value given, right? the same speed of light, you can express it in scientific notation if you adjust the decimal to the left side. Remember guys, whenever you are adjusting the decimal to the left side, exponent becomes positive. Whenever you are adjusting the decimal to the right side, exponent becomes negative. So you have to remember this LPRN shortcut. LPRN shortcut. Left side you are adjusting the decimal means exponent will be positive. Right side if you are adjusting the decimal means exponent will become negative, guys. So if you adjust the decimal to the left side, so adjust the decimal to the left side 7 places, 1 and it is 2 and here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means here. So you are adjusting it to the left side. So decimal and the exponent can be taken it as positive. It will be 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. That can be given as a scientific notice. Now it is how easy it is. So rather than studying this 3 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 something like that, simply you can say 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. That is a way of expressing a number in scientific notation. So any number, extremely large or smallest number, if you want to express it in scientific notation, it should be written like this: n into 10 raised to n. Yes or no? Or else it would be very difficult to write the number as well as to remember the number, right? So that's why we are using scientific notation. And where we will use this scientific notation? Scientific notation can be used in most of the mathematical conversions, guys. It can be used in addition, it can be used in subtraction, it can be used in multiplication, and it can be used in division also. It can be used in division, addition, subtraction, multiplication as well as division. Understood? And each and every point we will be talking about it now. So first one, what we have, addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction, it has actually two steps. It has two steps, and if you observe it, first the numbers are written in such a way that they have same exponent. You should write the numbers in such a way that they should have same exponent. They should have same exponent, and the coefficients are added or subtracted as the case may be. Then you have to go for addition or subtraction of the coefficient. If we see the example here, addition of 6.625 into 10 to the power of 4 and 8.95 into 10 to the power of 3. But here exponent is 4. Here exponent is 3. Exponents are not same. So in such cases, we have to change both the values to same exponent. We have to change both the values to same exponent. So what I'll do, adjust the decimal to the left side. Then what will happen, guys? It will become 0.895 into 10 to the power of 4. Now exponents are same. So 6.25 into 10 to the power of 4 and 0.895 into 10 to the power of 4, guys. And then if you add it, then you will get answer 7.545 into 10 to the power of 4. Hope you understand, guys. It's very easy. First of all, you should make exponent values should be same. Then you have to go for adding. Okay, that is the process you have to do in addition. Next, subtraction. If you observe it, subtraction, okay, in such cases we have to change both the values to same exponent, guys. We have to change the values to same exponent. So here subtraction of 2.5 into 10 to the power of minus 2, 0.48 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Nothing to be changed. Already, okay, the exponents are same. So in such cases, you can give it simply 2.5 minus 0.48. That gives you 2.02 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Hope you understand. It's very simple, right? Similarly, you can see that multiplication and division. So whenever multiplication and division is given, and though, okay, in these cases, these two operations means multiplication as well as division follow the same rules which are there for the exponential numbers. If you observe it here, 5.6 into 10 to the power of 5, 6.9 into 10 to the power of 8 is given. So in such cases, what we will do, guys? So here this is nothing but base. So bases are equal. So when bases are equal, add the powers in case of multiplication, right? So 5.6 into 6.9 into 10 to the power of 5 plus 8. That will give you the answer, that is 10 to the power of 13. So bases are equal, add the powers or add the exponents. If you add the exponents, we got 10 raised to 13 and 5.6 into 6.9, it will give you 38.64 into 10 to the power of 13. This is the way how we have to use scientific notation in case of multiplication. In case of multiplication, guys, right? So, and you can adjust the decimal also, right? So, you are adjusting the decimal to the left side, then 10 to the power of 13 becomes 10 to the power of 14, and then it is 3.864 into 10 to the power of 14. Hope you understand, guys. Is it clear for you? Right. So if you see this, express the following in the scientific notation. Express the following in the scientific notation. Solve along with me, or else if you know it already, so you can solve it and post it in the live chat. Tell me the answer in the live chat. First one, what they have given, 1,86,000. It is a big number, and you have to convert into scientific notation. You have to express it in scientific notation. Just observe it. Adjust the decimal to the left side. 1 place, 2 place, 3 places, 4 places, 5 places. You have adjusted the decimal to the left side, so obviously exponent will be positive. So you have adjusted to how many places? 10 to the power of 5, and then it will be, digit term will be 1.86, right? So expression should be in terms of capital letter N into 10 to the power of N. And second one, if you observe it, same thing we have done. Left side, 1, 2, 3 places. So 10 to the power of 3. Number is given as 4.007 into 10 to the power of 3. Hope you understand, guys. And third one. So third one, if you observe it, here we have adjusted the decimal to the right side. One place, second place, and third place. So it can be given it as 6.8 into 10 raised to minus 3. We have adjusted the decimal to the right side. So when we adjust the decimal to the right side, exponent becomes negative. How many places we have adjusted? 3 places we have adjusted. So it will become 10 to the power of minus 3. Hope you understand. And fourth one, if you see, guys, right? Fourth one, if you see here, adjust the decimal left and another place, 2 places. So 7 into 10 square. And if you see here, 7.0042. It is already smallest number. It is already smallest number, and we have expressed in terms of a significant figure, right? After decimal and before decimal, one number is there. So it is in the form of significant figure. So no need to express it in scientific notation. So you can leave it like that. Hope you understood, guys. So now I have used a term that is called significant figures. I have used a term called significant figures. So what are these significant figures? And when we will use these significant figures, or what is the use of these significant figures, that we are going to talk about it now. Understood the point, guys? So now, especially as I mentioned it very clearly, we will be doing practicals in the laboratory. So while we are doing practicals in the laboratory, we will be operating with so many theoretical as well as experimental calculations. While we are doing experimental calculations, we need to use significant figures, guys. We need to use significant figures. In which situations we will use the significant figures? Let's see, right? They gave the definition here very clearly, that is significant figures definition is given. Significant figures are meaningful digits which are known with certainty. Which are known with certainty, guys. Significant figures are meaningful digits which are known with the certainty. Guys, when we are doing experiments, every experimental measurements has some amount of uncertainty. Definitely. Why? Because we are handling, when humans are handling it, when we are handling it, so we can expect the errors. So obviously every experimental measurement has some uncertainty, so in such cases we need to use the significant figures. But however, though uncertainty is there, one would always like the results to be precise and accurate. Results must be either precise or accurate, right? So we will never accept the error. No, we will never accept the error. So in such cases, everyone would like to accept the precise values or accurate values, guys. So there are two terms I am using. One term is like precision, another term is accuracy. Another term is accuracy. So what is this precision and what is this accuracy? Guys, precision is nothing but it refers to the closeness of the true value. So closeness of the true value, that is nothing but precision, guys. Okay. So precision is nothing but it is the closeness to the true value. But whereas accuracy it is nothing but agreement of a particular value to the true value of the result. Agreement of the particular value to the true value of the result means that experimental value should closely matches or it should agree with the true value of the result. It should agree with the true value of the result, guys. So now significant figures are meaningful digits which are known with certainty. So as I mentioned, in general experimental measurements, you can see two operations. One is precision, two terms you can see, and another one is accurate. Precision is nothing but near value, almost close value. Accurate is nothing but exact value. Guys, right? So if it is exact, that value is nothing but accurate. If it is close to that approximate value in another way, that is near value, it is nothing but precision, guys. Now, importance of significant figures, right? So whenever any experimental data is associated with uncertainty, in such cases that uncertainty will be indicated with figures. Those figures are known as significant figures. While we are doing the experiments, we will get the experimental data. Generally, that experimental data is always associated with some sort of uncertainty. And the uncertainty in the experimental or calculated value is always indicated with significant figures. These are the meaningful digits. With some certainty. Right? For suppose, if we see that there is animation of the practical room, they have given. In that, archer is throwing the arrows onto the target. Right? For suppose a person A is throwing arrows and person B and person C. See who is accurate here? Actually, it is the goal. This one, this part red color one marked. No, I'll change the color. Just give me some time. This is target, right? This is the target. So everywhere this is the target. Here also this is the target. The color which is marked with yellow is the target, guys. Yellow is the target. But this person A reached his target, so he is accurate and precise. And this guy, out of 3 arrows, only 1 arrow is accurately reached. But remaining 2 arrows are not accurately reached. So he is precise but not accurate. But this person C is not close to the target. All the 3 arrows are away from the target. This is supposed to be a target, right? So he is away from the target. So he is neither accurate nor precise. Guys. Understood the point? If we see the example, for suppose if the true value is 2 gram, means when you are going to the laboratory, teacher will ask you to report the value of a particular experiment. Teacher will ask you to report the value of a particular experiment. So that experimental value, actual value of that experiment should be how much? 2 gram. Should be how much, guys? 2 gram, right? Can you report exactly 2 gram, guys? It's not possible. Never. It's not possible. Exact 2 grams is not possible by any children or by any student or by any faculty. Why? Because we are also humans, right? So it's only possible by machine. Electrical weighing balance may give the accurate results, but not the humans. Human, when we are handling the machine or handling the apparatus, obviously we can expect the errors. So one student measured a value, that value is 1.95 and 1.93 grams. Yes or no? And measured value by B student, if you observe it, a student B, what he has measured? 1.94 and 2.05 grams. Measured value C by C student, 2.01 and 1.99 grams. Can you tell me? Post it in the live chat. Who is accurate or precise? Who is accurate and precise? In another way, who is precise, very close to the accurate value. So obviously you can expect that, you can see here obviously answer student C. From these three, which is accurate and precise? Which is accurate guys? C. 2.01 and 1.91, which is close to the 2.00 grams, close to the 2 grams. But others, if you observe it, 1.94 and 2.05, which is far away, 1.95 and 1.93, which is also far away. So if you see that, okay, so what did you observe that guys? What did you observe that guys? So the student C has measured the value precisely, almost close to the accurate value, almost close to the accurate value. Hence C has reported the correct answer. So teacher can take that 1.9, either 1.99 or 2.01 can take it as correct value. So while you are performing the experiments, in such cases what we will do guys, so we will take the concurrent readings. Like concurrent readings, if you observe it, okay, so we will take 3 to 4 readings and we will take the average, then we will report the value, then we will report the value to the teacher while you are performing the experimental data. So on a brief, whenever you are doing the experiment, no one can report the accurate value, right? Students who can report that value which is close to the accurate value can be considered as precised value. So every value is precised, right? So you won't get the accurate value while you are doing the experiments in the laboratory, in your college or school laboratories. While you are doing, you won't get the exact value. Obviously when humans are handling, so it always gives some sort of errors. Hope you understand this point. Is it clear for you, right? Okay guys, hope you understand, right? Now you have understood what is precision and what is accuracy. We are going to discuss about rules for determining the number of significant figures. For suppose if you get any experimental value, how many significant figures are there in that experimental value is very important to calculate it, right? How do you calculate, how do you determine how many significant figures are there in a particular value? Those rules we are going to discuss it now. See, first rule, all non-zero digits are significant except 0, right? Those remaining digits are non-zero digits, right? All non-zero digits are considered to be significant. If we consider 285 centimeter is there, how many significant figures are there? 3 significant figures. One is 2, 8, 5. Understood the point guys? First rule is all non-zero digits are significant. And so second one, if you observe it guys, rule number 2, zeros preceding to first non-zero digit are not significant, right? Zeros preceding to first non-zero digit, preceding in the sense before to the non-zero digit. But suppose if it is non-zero digit, before to this non-zero digit, right? So whichever the digits are there, those are not significant. Like 0.03, here 3 is significant, but these zeros are non-significant, so it has only one significant figure. 0.0052, so there are how many significant figures? 2 significant figures. One is 5 and another one is 2, but remaining these 3 are non-significant. Understood the point guys? Now third one, rule number 3, zeros between two non-zero digits are significant, right? So as I told you, all non-zero digits are significant, but 0 is insignificant, right? But for suppose if 0 is present in between two non-zero digits like 2.005, in such cases these two zeros also should be considered as significant figures guys. Those two zeros also should be considered as significant figures. So it is 1, it is 2, it is 3, 4. So how many significant figures are there? Total 4 significant figures are there. Hope you understand guys. Now, so another one, zeros at the end are right of a number are significant provided they are on the right side of the decimal point. For suppose any zero which is or on the right side of the decimal point, in such cases definitely those zeros are significant. Like 0.200, don't no you're not supposed to say, sorry, you're not supposed to say 2 is the only one significant figure. Along with 2, this 0 and this 0 is also significant. Whenever these zeros at the end or right of a number are significant, provided they are on the right side of the decimal point. These are on the right side of the decimal point but not the left side of the decimal point. This is not significant, but these two are significant. So it has how many significant figures? 3 significant figures are present. Understood? Now, if you see the next rule, guys. If a number ends in zeros, most of the time, okay, numbers are ending in zeros that are not to the right of the decimal. If there is no decimal, and that zeros may or may not be significant. For suppose if I consider 1500, 1500, there are okay 2, 3, 4 significant figures maybe. So this confusion simply you can avoid it by expressing them in scientific notation. So we have 1500. So 1500 I can write it as 15 into 10 square. So now this is the digit term. The digit term has how many numbers? 2 numbers, and those 2 numbers should be considered as significant figures. Those are considered as significant figures. Exponent cannot be considered for determining the significant figure. Exponent numbers cannot be included under significant figures. Hope you understand. So 15 into 10 square or 1500 has only 2 significant figures. Understood the point, guys? So if you observe it, lastly, it may be emphasized that exact integral numbers such as 2, 20 have infinite significant figures, can be represented by writing infinite number of zeros after placing a decimal. Means if I say 2, I can write as 2.0000, right? So if I say and 20.0000, like that, infinite number or infinite significant figures are possible for those exact integral numbers, right? And then, so while we are adding or subtracting, how do you use the significant figure? Just see. Okay, observe it carefully. It's very simple. Addition and subtraction is very simple, guys. Addition and subtraction is very simple. I'll be just reading out the rule for you. Then it is very easy to understand it. The result cannot have more digits to the right of the decimal point than that at original number which has the least number of digits to the right of the decimal point in it. So what does it mean? You are taking 3 numbers, 12.11, 18.0, third is 01.012. After decimal, in those 3 numbers, after decimal, which has least number of digits? 18.0. That is only one digit. Yes, sir, only one digit is there after decimal point. So you have added, we got the answer 31.122. So you should change this value, you should round it off this value, right? You should round it off this value to a number which is 31.1. Why? Because after decimal it should have only one digit. The result cannot have more digits to the right of the decimal point than that at original number which has the least number of digits. Why? Because 18.0 after decimal only one digit is there. So after decimal in the answer also it should have only one digit. So this rule is to be applied whenever you are adding as well as subtracting the significant figures. Understood? Next one, multiplication and division of significant figures. What is that, guys? Multiplication and division of the significant figures, right? So here, if you observe it, in these operations, let me read out the rule first. In these operations, the result must be reported with no more significant figures as are there in the measurement with the few significant figures. No more significant figures are there in the measurement with the few significant figures. What does it mean? I took 2.5 into 1.25. If you multiply, what will you get? It 3.125. Yes or no? If you multiply 3, you will get 3.125, right? So in these operations, this result, how do you report? It must be reported with no more significant figures as are there in the measurement with a few significant figures. So very less significant figures are there here. 2.5 means 2 significant figures, 1.25 means 3 significant figures. Since 2.5 has 2 significant figures, the result should not have more than 2 significant figures. So 3.125 should be rounded off to 3.1. Why? Because answer also should have how many significant figures? 2 significant figures. Understood the point? Whichever value, whichever the number is having least significant figures, and we should express the answer in terms of that number of significant figures only while you are doing multiplication as well as division. Hope you understand the point, guys. While you are doing multiplication and division, that rule need to be followed. Okay, now rules in rounding the numbers. Whenever, if you want to round it off the numbers, if you want to round it off the numbers, what are the rules need to be followed, right? So if you observe it, the digit on the extreme right, that is the last digit of a number, may be removed. Okay, if the rightmost digit to be removed is more than 5, the preceding number is increased by 1. First is the digit on the extreme right or the last digit of a number may be removed. Number 1, if the rightmost digit to be removed, if you want to remove the rightmost digit, if that digit is more than 5, if it is more than 5, then the preceding number, means the number before to it, must be increased by how many units? 1. Must be increased by how many units, guys? 1. For suppose 1.386, it's given. Extreme, the digit on the extreme right is last digit is 6, right? So we can remove this, but this 6 is more than 5, no? That means while you are removing it, so you should add, preceding number is 8, it should be increased by 1, so 1.386 will become 1.39, right? So this is called certainty in measurement. Certainty in measurement can be done by using significant figures. Understood the point, guys? Is it clear for you? Say yes or no in the live chat. Say yes or no. Now, for suppose if I see, it's very simple. If the digit to be removed is less than 5, if it is less than 5, the preceding number is not changed. Earlier, if more than 5 is there, preceding number should be increased by 1. But if the digit is removed is less than 5, the preceding number is not changed. For suppose if I say 6.35 is to be rounded by removing 5, we have to increase rounded off to 6.2, right? We have to increase it the rounded off to 6.2. For example, 4.334 is there, 4 we have removed it, which is less than 5. So less than 5 means, okay, the preceding number no need to change it. Preceding number no need to change it, guys. So simply you can write it as 4.3 only, 4.33. Understood the point? 4.33 you can write it. For suppose if the digit is removed is 5 exactly, okay, if the digit is removed 5, then the preceding number is not changed if it is an even number. The preceding number is not changed if it is even number, but it is increased by 1 if it is an odd number. If it is an odd number, means for example if I say 6.35 is there, that 6.35, 5 we are removing it. Preceding number is 3. So 3 means it is a odd number. If it is odd number means okay, it should be increased by 1 unit. It will become 6.4. So it also 6.4. That explanation is wrong. Sorry for it. 6.4. So we are actually revising once all topics at a time by solving some examples. Express the following in scientific notation. Express the following in scientific notation, right? So scientific notation, if you observe it, 5.60 means in terms of significant figures, 5.6078 is there. Okay, so they have removed all these digits. They have removed all these digits and they made it as 5.608 in terms of significant figures. Fifth digit, if you observe it, that is here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth digit 8, which is greater than 5. So that we have removed. Preceding number 7, which has been increased by 1 unit. And same thing here also, if you observe it, okay, 32.39. We have removed that remaining digit, so just we made it as 32.39. Okay, you can write it as 32.391 also, fine, not an issue. The digit 2 is dropped. The digit 2 is dropped, and since it is less than 5. Why? Because this digit they have considered. For suppose if I consider this digit, I will get 32.391. Now example 2. What is the sum of 2.368 kg and 1.02 kg? Sum of 2.368 and 1.02. So what we got it, guys? Right? What we got it? So after adding, we got 3.388. But answer should be reported, right? Answer should be reported to the that value in which is having after decimal, which is having less significant figures. So here how many digits are there? 2, but here 3. So 2 digits is the less number. So 1.02, that means it should have only 2 significant figures. So the sum can be taken it as 3.39. After decimal, it should have only 2 numbers. Understood the point, guys? Hope it is clear. That's all for today's session. Today's session we have discussed about scientific notation. We have discussed about scientific notation and we have discussed about significant figures. As well as we solved some examples based on scientific notation and significant figures. In the next session, we will be talking about dimensional analysis. In the next session, we will be talking about dimensional analysis as well as laws of chemical combination. Laws of chemical combination. Understood the point, guys? Laws of chemical combination, we will do it in the next session. If you like the video, please click on the like button. If you have any doubts, please post it in the comment box. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. As we know, this is Aspire batch. We are offering free chemistry course of all syllabus of each and every topic, right? So if you have already subscribed, please click on the bell icon for further notifications and please share it to your friends about our free chemistry course on YouTube, guys, right? Until then, take care. Signing off. Bye bye.